Hello. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just make sure everything is good here before I start and talk about this. Okay. So, um, racism. So this video is happening because there are some, racist things being said on in our YouTube gaming community. And I just wanted to take the time to address and talk about my experiences or my experience with racism. So let's start here. Let's start with I am not a racist of any kind. I've always grown up around a very diverse group of people. I'm a diverse person. I work with a diverse group of people. Sorry if I repeat myself. I've had a few. Um, and forgive me if I get a little emotional while talking about this. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get into my situation. So, I'm not a good storyteller, but I'll go ahead and give it a shot. So it's 9:30, 10 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm headed to work. And on my way to work, I'm on a street, or I'm traveling down the street, and I see that I have a green light. All right, so I have a green light, and I see a cab driver run the light. I see a cab go through the intersection, and I still have a green light. And I'm like, okay, that was kind of weird. And I keep going because I have a green light. And I look to my left as soon as I hit the intersection, and there's a green truck, and it pretty much T-boned me. So I get out of the car. Obviously, I'm a little dizzy at this point. I get out of the car, and I'm kind of, yelling at the guy, like, what were you doing? What are you doing? The driver gets out of the car. There's two guys in the car. The driver gets out of the car and says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm still upset. And so I'm like, what the hell were you doing? His friend gets out of the car and says, no, what the hell were you doing? You hit us, or not you hit us, but you ran the light. At that point, we started arguing. And a firefighter pulls up. Mind you, all these individuals are white, white males. Okay, so a fire truck pulls up, about maybe three guys in this fire truck. They tell us to stop arguing. It doesn't matter who hit who ran the light, who did what. Sorry for that alarm. They tell us don't worry about who did what. They tell me rather, don't worry about who did what. You look like you got hit pretty hard. Why don't you come over here and talk to us? Come to the other side of the car and talk to us. So I go to the other side of the car. I talk to them. They ask me, am I okay? I'm like, my neck and my back hurts a little bit. Yeah, my neck and my back, yeah. So I tell them I'm a little hurt, but I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. So they call an ambulance, and in the midst of the ambulance showing up, I asked the firefighters. I say, hey, you guys got here kind of fast, because they got there within maybe 8 seconds of the accident happening. And so I said, hey, you guys got here kind of fast. Did you see what happened? They said, no, we didn't see what happened. We just heard it from around the corner, and so we came over to help. So I said, okay, cool. So long story short, the firefighters pull up. I mean, not the firefighters, the ambulance pulls up. They put me on a gurney. They strap me down, the neck brace, and everything. Right, I'm like glued to this stretcher. So they put me on the ambulance, and I'm laying there, and they're checking my pulse or whatever. And all of a sudden, a cop gets on the ambulance. He's a black guy. He gets on the ambulance and he goes, so why'd you run the light? And I go, wait. And I'm calm at this point. I say, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, I got witnesses out here saying that you ran the light. And I say, well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30 or whatever it was on a Sunday. This is downtown Atlanta. I say, there's nobody out here. There was nobody out there. So what are you talking about? And he goes, well, those firefighters that were out there say that you ran the light. And at that point, I lost it. Okay, because these are the same guys that told me that they didn't see anything. Um, you know, they just heard the accident, and so they heard the accident, but they told the cop that I ran the light. Again, mind you, everybody involved is white except for the cop. So I'm freaking out. They're telling me they're gonna have to sedate me or whatever, if I don't calm down. And I'm like, look, man, go ask the driver what happened, and he'll tell you the truth because he apologized to me. And he goes, no, I talked to everybody, and they all said that you're in the red car and you ran the light. So I ended up going to the hospital, and the cop was, I guess, looking for me or whatever. He called me and told me to meet him somewhere to come get my ticket for running the light. Okay, so I meet this cop to go get my ticket, I guess. And so I talked to him, and I'm like, look, man, I know I'm not crazy. I had a green light, and these guys really hit me. I didn't hit them. So he tells me that why would the firefighters lie? Which is a logical thing. You know what I mean? Put myself in the cop situation. I kind of could see where he's coming from. But he basically said, why would the firefighters lie? These firefighters are considered to be our brothers. They have no stake in this madness. They have no reason to lie on you. Why would they lie on you? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find evidence that you didn't run the light, which will be hard. So after thinking about it for a couple days, man, it got so bad. All right, it got so bad that I thought that I had lost my mind, guys. I thought that I fucking lost my mind. I started thinking, was I tripping? Was something wrong with me? Did I really see something that I didn't see? Was the light really red? That's how like crazy the situation was for me. All right, even though I knew what I saw and I saw what I saw, it got so bad that I started questioning myself. So the next day, I woke up and I was like, I had to do something about this. All right, so I went to the same intersection, and I went to each business in that intersection, and I asked each business if they had cameras. The first one said no, our cameras are on, but we're not recording. The second one said no. The third one said no. The last place I went to just so happened to have the video, a bird's eye view and the street view of the entire incident. So I go in and I'm pleading with these people saying, hey, I just need to, at this point, I just need to know for myself, okay? To know if I'm losing my mind or not. So I asked them if I can see the video. They say, oh, you were the guy that was in the accident the other day. And I said, yeah, I was the guy that was in the accident. He's like, yeah, it was pretty bad, man. Do you want to see the video? Yes, I want to see the video. So I go to the back. I have to sign a couple things or whatever. I go to the back, and we're watching the video, all of us together, because they all heard about the accident. Some of them, seen it on the cameras or whatever. And so they're all coming back, and I told them the story. So I told them what happened and all this kind of stuff. So they're all anxious to see exactly what happened. And so we're all watching the video, and sure enough, I had the green light. There's without a shadow of a doubt that I had the green light. And so, we're all celebrating in the back because they know how important this is to me. So we're all celebrating in the back, and I'm like, hey, this is great. This is awesome. Can I have the video? They tell me, no, you can't have the video. the crazy thing about that, the crazy thing about the reason why I didn't receive why I couldn't get the video is because someone else got into an accident at the same intersection, and she was in the wrong, and she altered the video and took it to court. And so from then on, long story short, they couldn't, they didn't want to give me the video. Okay, so I ended up knowing the warden there, and comes to find out I've done a lot of work for their cause per se. So I talked to her and told her the situation that I was in. It took a while. Nobody wanted to take the case without the video. Sorry guys, I'm getting messages. But anyway, nobody wanted to take the case until they had a video, whatever, except one person. And so after a couple of weeks or whatever, they finally say, okay, we're gonna let you get the video. I finally get the video, and I take it to court with me. So imagine this: you got into an accident, and everyone says that you ran a light, including these firefighters that were there, and you find a video that pretty much shows that you weren't in the wrong in this situation. So I go to court. Okay, I kind of keep this information to myself. I tell the lawyer, whatever. He's like, yeah, man, you got this or whatever. You can just do it yourself or whatever. So I go to court, and I got my suit on. I got my easel ready. I got my pointer ready. I am ready to rock, right? I'm ready to set the courtroom on fire, right? Because I didn't run the light, right? So I got the whole the street poster blown up. Put it like this: I had so much evidence. My friend works for the city. I have a friend that works for the city. I had so much evidence on that street light that I didn't even need the video anymore, because I knew what time the light was supposed to be, what color, at what time of the day, and I knew what time the accident happened exactly to the T. And it got to the point like I knew exactly how long the light was green, what time, everything. So I had full confidence going into the courtroom. And so I get ready to say, they call me up to the podium. I get ready to, get my pointer ready. And as soon as I open my mouth, the judge tells me to shut up. She goes, shut up. And I go, what do you mean shut up? And she goes, well, do you want to go to jail? And I say, no, I don't want to go to jail. I'm just trying to explain myself. She tells me to shut up again. She goes, what I want you to do is, there's a lady back there. There's a solicitor in the back. Go talk to her, and we'll figure out what we can do for you. And I say, but I get one word out, and she goes, again, do you want to go to jail? I say, no, I don't want to go to jail. And she says, okay, well, if you don't want to go to jail, go talk to her, because we have firefighters. I said, I'm looking at your documents here, and we have firefighters saying that you were the cause of the accident. And if you want to have any kind of, retribution for this or whatever, you need to talk to the solicitor, and we'll figure out something for you. At that point, I'm like, okay, whatever. I put my hands up. I'll go talk to the solicitor. So I'm sitting in this room with the solicitor, and she goes, so either you plead guilty to causing this accident, or we're going to throw the whole book at you. And so I tell her, throw the whole book at me, because I'm not going to plead guilty to something that I didn't do. So she flat out laughs at me and says, she goes, I'm not going to say my name, but she was like, so what makes you think that? So first, she says, first of all, we have firefighters saying that you did this, that you ran a light. We have, the witnesses saying that you, or the kids or whatever that was in the car, they're saying that you ran a light. What makes you think that you're going to, get out of this situation? And so I told her, I have video and I have evidence to show that I didn't run a light. And so she puts quote fingers up, and she goes, okay, what evidence do you have? Right. And so I pull out, I asked her, hey, how do you want to see it? Do you want to see it, in photos? Do you want to see it on, I'm being a dick at this point because I know what I have. right? So I'm like, you want to see the photos? Do you want to see the grid of the street? Do you want to see the video? Like, what do you want to see? And she goes, however you want to show it to me, just show it to me. So it's like, you know what? I pulled out the pictures. I pulled out the pictures and showed, exactly what the light looked like when I was going through it. And she goes, nah, that's not nothing. Like anybody could have did that. I go, okay, well, let me show you video. And she goes, you got video? And I said, yeah, I got video. So I take out my laptop and I show her the video, and her jaw just dropped. And she says, oh my God, what can I do for you? And at that point, I just didn't know what to say. Again, I was kind of like, the video's right there. I mean, do what you need to do. So she goes outside for like 10 minutes. Then she comes back in. And when she comes in, she goes, hey, so I told the person that hit me, she says, I told him and his dad that you had video of the whole accident. And they didn't even let me finish. They just asked, could they leave? And they got up and walked out. And she says, I find that incredibly strange for someone who's claiming that you ran the light. So I said, yeah, I feel that too. Well, let me go back a little bit. Like she was so adamant. Like this lady told me that the firefighters were coming, and they have no dog in this fight or whatever, and nobody has any reason to lie on me. This is what she said about the firefighters. And I know it was full of shit. I knew she was full of shit because the firefighters on the police report, they put their address on there, and their address was to a mall. Okay. So I knew that she was full of shit. And so that's why I said what I said to her, and did things the way I did it with her. And so again, she says they just left or whatever. And so she's like, I'm going to go ahead and tell the judge that, they want to drop the charges or whatever, and you're free to go. And if you want to pursue this through civil matter, then go ahead. So I go back to the courtroom and they drop the charges or whatever. Okay. So after that, I'm thinking, how can I get, and I shouldn't be thinking like this, but I'm like, how can I get them back for that? Because if I didn't have that video, I would have been fucking screwed. All right. If I didn't have a video showing that I didn't cause the accident, I would have been screwed. And so I call these lawyers and all this kind of stuff, and nobody wants to take the case. All right. So I got paid from their insurance company, but I wanted to take this to civil, and so nobody wants to take the case. And so after about the seventh lawyer told me no. I just asked him straight up. I was like, look, man, just be honest with me. Every lawyer that I've talked to has told me that they don't want to take the case. Not really giving me a reason why. They just told me that they don't want to take it. Can you explain to me why you're not taking it? And I will not hold it against you or anything. Just tell me why you don't want to take the case. And he tells me that, first of all, the firefighters are servicemen. They're firefighters, and in front of a jury, it's going to be hard to prosecute firefighters. It's going to be hard to prosecute the city and firefighters for people that are sent to go out on the line and help us. It's going to be hard to prosecute them in the court of law. They can easily go inside the courtroom and say, oh, I made a mistake on the thing. I said red car, but I meant green car. And so it's not going to be worth the time for a lawyer to go through all this when the jury is probably going to side with the firefighters anyway, because they're firefighters. And on top of that, he said, I'm a white male, and from what you're telling me, these guys are white males as well. It's going to be hard for you. And at that point, I'm not somebody that quits, but I gave up on that situation. I did give up, and I probably shouldn't have, but I gave up on that situation. So with this whole thing, I struggled with it. I struggled with trying to rationalize why it happened. Could it have been something else other than racism? I don't know. I've tried a lot to think about what it could have been. Why would they lie on me? Why would they tell me what they told me and then tell the cops something different? I struggle with that a lot. And the only thing I can think of was racism. That's the only thing I can think of, because nothing else makes sense. If they were right behind us and they saw the accident, then they could see that I had the green light. And I'm not the kind of person that would claim racism for a lot of things, but that is one situation where I felt like there was pure or clear racism. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that it was racism, or do you think it was something else? I don't know. It was crazy to me. But anyway, that's my situation. That was my situation. And that's pretty much it. This is Psycho Gamer, and I am out. Peace.